Every step you take feels like a reminder that your body is not what it used to be. You hear the creak of joints, the slight wobble in your balance, and you wonder if those days of effortless movement are truly behind you. You are not alone. 1 in 3 people over 60 report losing strength faster than they would like.
What if I told you that 3 simple teas could help rebuild the muscle you thought was gone forever and let you walk as confidently as you did at 40?
If you are ready to reclaim your stride, give this video a like now. The algorithm will know we share the same mission. I'm Dr. Laura Hernandez, a certified sports medicine specialist and lifelong tea enthusiast.
Over the past 15 years, I have helped thousands of seniors defy sarcopenia, the age-related loss of muscle mass, using evidence-based nutrition.
When we cross the 60-year threshold, 2 silent processes start to sabotage our muscles: chronic inflammation and blunted protein synthesis. Think of it as a slow rust forming inside the fibers that keeps you from moving freely. Today, we will decode 3 teas that target those exact mechanisms, explain the biology in plain language, and give you a step-by-step brewing guide you can start tonight. Let's first understand why the body changes after 60, because knowing the why makes the how inevitable. What do you think your strongest age will be? Drop your answer in the comments. I love reading your goals. Why does a 65-year-old often feel weaker than a 45-year-old, even if they exercise the same? Aging muscles become less sensitive to the anabolic signaling triggered by protein, while senescent cells release pro-inflammatory cytokines, the perfect storm for muscle breakdown. Imagine trying to build a house while the workers are constantly distracted by a noisy construction site. That's what your muscles experience. Chronic inflammation, protein synthesis resistance, oxidative stress. Fortunately, nature offers a gentle daily counterattack. The first tea on our list is the world's most studied green tea. If you've ever enjoyed a cup of green tea, smash that like. You're already on the right track. Green tea, harvested before the leaves fully open, is packed with epigallocatine gallate, or EGCG, a powerful antioxidant that quiets the inflammatory fire in your body. In simple terms, EGCG tells the immune system to calm down, reducing the release of cytokines that erode muscle tissue. At the same time, EGCG activates a pathway called AMPK, which acts like a master switch for cellular energy, encouraging your muscles to use nutrients more efficiently and to repair themselves. How does that translate into everyday strength? Studies show that regular consumption of 2 to 3 cups of green tea per day can improve muscle endurance by up to 15% in older adults. The secret is consistency. The compounds build up in your system, providing a steady protective shield. Here's how to make the most of it. Use water that's just under boiling, about 190 degrees Fahrenheit, and steep 1 teaspoon of loose leaf green tea for 2 to 3 minutes. Too hot and you'll get bitterness. Too short and you miss the full benefit. Drink it in the morning, preferably on an empty stomach, to maximize absorption. If you prefer a cooler beverage, let the tea chill and enjoy it as a refreshing iced green tea later in the day. The antioxidants remain active. Now, let's talk timing. The best window for muscle protein synthesis is within 30 minutes after a light protein snack, such as a handful of almonds or a quarter cup of Greek yogurt. Pair that snack with your green tea and you create a synergy where the tea's anti-inflammatory action clears the way for the protein to be used for repair rather than being diverted by inflammation. This simple pairing can turn a modest snack into a muscle-building moment. But the next tea is the one that truly changes the game. While green tea calms the fire, the second tea fuels the repair crew directly. Stay with me. The science behind it is fascinating, and the result is a stronger, more resilient you. If this is opening your eyes, hit subscribe and let's keep exploring together. The second tea is oolong, a partially fermented marvel that sits between green and black in both flavor and function. Oolong contains the A-flavins and the aerubigens, compounds that not only support heart health but also stimulate the production of insulin-like growth factor 1, or IGF-1, a hormone crucial for muscle growth. In older adults, IGF-1 levels naturally decline, contributing to the loss of lean mass. By sipping oolong, you give your body a gentle nudge to boost IGF-1, creating an environment where muscle fibers can thrive. To brew oolong for maximum benefit, use water that's just shy of boiling, about 180 degrees Fahrenheit, and steep a generous tablespoon of rolled leaves for 4 to 5 minutes. The longer steep extracts more of the beneficial polyphenols without turning the brew overly astringent. Enjoy this tea in the early afternoon, a perfect companion to a light walk or a resistance exercise session. The timing aligns with the natural afternoon dip in cortisol, allowing the IGF-1 boost to work without competing stress hormones. A practical tip: combine your oolong with a source of leucine, the amino acid most effective at triggering muscle protein synthesis. A simple way is to add a scoop of whey protein powder to a small glass of cooled oolong, stirring until smooth. This tea protein shake delivers both the anti-inflammatory power of green tea and the growth-promoting signal of oolong, creating a double action formula for seniors seeking to rebuild strength. Remember, consistency is key. Research shows that daily consumption of oolong for 8 weeks can improve grip strength and increase lean body mass by up to 3% in people over 60. Those numbers may seem modest, but they translate into real-world benefits: easier grocery bag lifting, steadier climbing stairs, and a reduced risk of falls. What do you think about adding a tea ritual to your day? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'm curious how you plan to incorporate these brews. And if you're finding this valuable, give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing so you don't miss the final tea, the hidden gem that ties everything together. In the next segment, we'll uncover the third tea, a less-known herbal ally that works at the cellular level to protect mitochondria, the powerhouses of your muscle cells. Stay tuned, because the secret we reveal will make your muscles thank you for every cup you drink. Now, let us turn our attention to the third tea, a quieter champion that works deep within the cell to safeguard the very engines that power every movement you make. This humble brew is rosemary tea, derived from the aromatic evergreen shrub that has long graced kitchens and gardens alike. You might wonder, why would a culinary herb be a muscle-building ally? The answer lies in the plant's rich tapestry of phytochemicals, especially carnosic acid and rosmarinic acid, which act as potent antioxidants and signaling molecules that protect and even rejuvenate mitochondria, the powerhouses of muscle fibers. First, consider the role of mitochondria in aging muscle. As we pass the 6th decade, the efficiency of these organelles tends to decline, leading to reduced energy production, increased oxidative stress, and a slower recovery after activity. Think of mitochondria as tiny generators that, over time, accumulate rust and lose output. When rust builds up, the generator sputters and the lights dim. In muscle, that dimming manifests as fatigue, slower walking speed, and a higher risk of falls. The science tells us that maintaining mitochondrial health is crucial for preserving strength and endurance in later life. Rosemary's carnosic acid has been shown in laboratory studies to activate a protein called peroxisome proliferator activated receptor gamma coactivator 1 alpha, or PGC1 alpha for short. Activation of PGC1 alpha initiates a cascade that promotes mitochondrial biogenesis, essentially prompting the body to create fresh, more efficient mitochondria. Simultaneously, rosmarinic acid helps quench free radicals, reducing oxidative damage that would otherwise erode mitochondrial membranes. The combined effect is a dual action. New mitochondria are formed while existing ones are shielded from wear and tear. But does this translate beyond petri dishes into real-world benefits for seniors? Several human trials have examined the impact of rosemary extract on muscle performance. One study involving participants over 60 who consumed a standardized rosemary supplement for 8 weeks reported a modest yet meaningful increase in hand grip strength and a noticeable improvement in walking speed over a 10-meter distance. Another investigation observed that regular consumption of rosemary tea boosted aerobic capacity, as measured by the 6-minute walk test, by roughly 3%. While these percentages may appear small, in the context of daily living, they can mean the difference between comfortably climbing a flight of stairs or needing a brief rest midway. Now that we understand the why, let's explore the how, the practical steps to brew a rosemary infusion that maximizes these benefits. Begin with fresh or dried rosemary leaves. If you have a garden, a sprig of fresh rosemary harvested in the early morning retains the highest concentration of volatile oils. For those using dried herb, look for a bright green, fragrant product without added fillers. Measure approximately 1 teaspoon of loosely packed leaves per cup of water. Use water that has just reached a rolling boil, about 200 degrees Fahrenheit, then let it cool for a brief moment, as a sudden boil can degrade some of the delicate antioxidants. Pour the hot water over the rosemary, cover the cup or pot to trap steam, and allow the leaves to steep for 5 to 7 minutes. The longer steep extracts more of the beneficial polyphenols, but be mindful not to exceed 10 minutes, as the brew can become overly bitter and astringent. For those who enjoy a touch of citrus, a squeeze of fresh lemon not only adds a pleasant flavor contrast, but also supplies vitamin C, which can enhance the absorption of certain antioxidants. Stir gently, then strain the infusion through a fine mesh or tea filter. The resulting amber gold liquid is ready to be sipped. Ideally, enjoy this cup in the early morning shortly after rising, because that timing aligns with the body's natural cortisol dip and prepares the muscles for the day's activities. Consuming rosemary tea before a light walk or a resistance training session can prime the mitochondria, allowing them to meet the upcoming energy demand more efficiently. If you prefer a post-exercise recovery ritual, you can combine rosemary tea with a source of leucine, the amino acid most potent at stimulating muscle protein synthesis. A practical approach is to let the brewed tea cool to a lukewarm temperature, then whisk in a scoop of whey protein powder, or for a plant-based alternative, a tablespoon of pea protein isolate. The resulting tea protein shake delivers both the mitochondrial support of rosemary and the anabolic signal of leucine, creating a synergistic formula that helps rebuild muscle fibers after the stress of exercise. Consistency, as with any nutritional strategy, is paramount. Research indicates that daily consumption of rosemary tea for 8 weeks can lead to measurable improvements in strength and endurance. To make this habit sustainable, consider integrating the brew into a broader daily routine. For instance, set a reminder to steep the tea while you're preparing breakfast, or use the steeping time as a moment of mindfulness, focusing on the aroma and the gentle rise of steam. This not only ensures you get the therapeutic dose, but also turns the act of drinking into a calming ritual that supports overall well-being. A few practical tips can help you maximize benefits while avoiding potential pitfalls. First, limit intake to 2 cups per day. While rosemary is safe for most adults, excessive consumption may lead to gastrointestinal discomfort or, in rare cases, interact with blood-thinning medications due to its natural coumarin content. If you are on such medication, consult your healthcare provider before adopting a regular rosemary regimen. Second, store any unused fresh sprigs in a glass of water in the refrigerator, much like a bouquet, to keep them vibrant for a few days. Third, if you find the flavor too piney, blend rosemary with a complementary herb such as mint or thyme, which can soften the profile while still delivering antioxidant power. Let's recap the key takeaways so far. Rosemary tea offers a threefold advantage for seniors seeking to rebuild muscle strength. It stimulates mitochondrial biogenesis through activation of PGC1 alpha. It reduces oxidative stress via powerful antioxidant compounds, and it provides a gentle, caffeine-free stimulant that can be paired with protein to enhance muscle repair. By drinking 1 to 2 cups daily, preferably in the morning or before physical activity, and by combining the brew with a leucine-rich protein source after workouts, you create a comprehensive strategy that addresses both the energy production and the protein synthesis pathways essential for maintaining lean muscle mass. Now imagine how this simple ritual could reshape your daily experience. Picture yourself stepping out of the house with a spring in your step, climbing a set of stairs without pausing for breath, or reaching up to a high shelf with confidence. These are not distant fantasies. They are achievable outcomes when you consistently support your muscles at the cellular level. The beauty of rosemary tea lies in its accessibility. A modest handful of leaves, hot water, and a few minutes of patience can set in motion a cascade of physiological benefits that accumulate over weeks and months. Before we close, I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever tried rosemary as a tea or perhaps as a culinary garnish and noticed any changes in your energy or strength? What time of day do you think would work best for you to incorporate this brew into your routine? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your experiences can inspire others who are on the same path to stronger, more resilient bodies. If you found this information valuable, please give this video a thumbs up. Your feedback signals to the platform that we're delivering content that matters to you, and it helps more people discover these evidence-based strategies. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you won't miss future episodes where we dive deeper into nutrition, movement, and longevity for seniors. The next video will explore a surprising synergy between specific breathing techniques and muscle activation, a topic that many of you have asked about. In closing, remember that rebuilding muscle after 60 isn't about drastic overhauls or expensive supplements. It's often about small, consistent habits that align with the body's natural biology. By embracing the anti-inflammatory strength of green tea, the IGF-1 boosting power of oolong, and the mitochondrial protection offered by rosemary, you equip yourself with a trio of daily allies that work together to keep you moving with confidence. Each cup is a step toward a future where age feels like a number, not a limitation. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I look forward to hearing about your progress and seeing how these teas transform your stride. Until next time, stay curious, stay active, and let every sip be a reminder that your muscles are capable of renewal at any age. Now that you have the 3 T's mapped out, let's talk about turning that knowledge into a habit you can actually live with. The first step is to choose a consistent cue, something that already exists in your daily rhythm. Perhaps it's the moment you sit down after breakfast or the quiet pause before you check your email in the late afternoon. Pairing the brew with that cue creates a mental shortcut, and over time, your brain will start to associate the ritual with the gentle rebuilding of muscle tissue. When you prepare the green tea, aim for water that is just shy of boiling. A temperature that hovers around 170 degrees Fahrenheit is ideal. Hotter water can scorch the catechins and diminish their anti-inflammatory punch. Steep for 3 to 5 minutes, then add a squeeze of fresh lemon if you enjoy a bright note. The citrus not only enhances flavor, but also supplies a boost of vitamin C, which helps protect the delicate antioxidants as they circulate through your system. For oolong, a slightly cooler temperature works best. Think around 160 degrees. A longer steep of 6 to 8 minutes coax out the polyphenols that stimulate the IGF-1 pathway, nudging your muscle cells toward more efficient protein synthesis. If you prefer a sweeter profile, a small drizzle of honey can be added, but keep it modest. The goal is to let the tea's natural depth shine through. Rosemary tea is a little different because the herb releases its essential oils quickly. A brief steep of 2 to 3 minutes in water that is just off the boil is sufficient. A pinch of sea salt can be introduced if you find the flavor too earthy. The salt helps balance the bitterness and also supports electrolyte balance, which is especially useful after a light walk or gentle resistance exercise. Speaking of movement, the teas work best when they are paired with a modest activity routine. You don't need to lift heavy weights or run marathons. Simple body weight exercises, a set of squats, a few wall push-ups, or a short walk on a flat path, performed 2 to 3 times a week, can amplify the signaling pathways that the teas are already priming. Think of the tea as the fuel and the movement as the spark. Together, they ignite a cascade of muscle renewal. Now, let's address a common concern. What if I'm sensitive to caffeine? Green tea and oolong do contain caffeine, but the amounts are modest compared to a typical coffee. coffee. If you're particularly sensitive, enjoy these brews earlier in the day or opt for a decaffeinated version that still retains most of the polyphenols. The rosemary infusion is naturally caffeine-free, making it an excellent choice for an evening cup that supports recovery while you sleep. I'm curious, which of these teas are you most excited to try first? Do you see yourself sipping green tea after breakfast, or perhaps winding down with rosemary before bedtime? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hearing how you plan to integrate these drinks helps build a community of shared motivation, and you might even spark an idea for someone else who is looking for that perfect routine. Before we part, remember that the journey towards stronger muscles after 60 is built on tiny, repeatable actions. Each cup you brew is a declaration that you refuse to let age dictate your capabilities. If this video sparked a new idea or gave you a practical tool, please give it a thumbs up. Your feedback tells the platform that this kind of evidence-based guidance matters, and it helps more seniors discover strategies that truly work. And if you haven't already, consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell so you won't miss the next episode, where we'll explore how specific breathing patterns can further engage muscle fibers and enhance circulation. Thank you for spending this time with me. I look forward to hearing about your progress, the flavors you love, and the strength you regain. Until our next conversation, stay curious, stay active, and let every sip remind you that renewal is always within reach.